kings and queens and everybody in between. I am Ashley Michelle, and welcome to my podcast, The Goddess Complex. I am the host and resident witch. If you're new here, welcome home. It has been a little bit, friends. I hope we've all been enjoying ourselves, enjoying the fall season, enjoying the vibes, right? Fall is like such a vibe, and I deeply, deeply appreciate it. It's a space and time and a time and space where we can truly just like chill, right? Pachamama is slowing down. The leaves are changing colors. It's getting a bit more brisk. Everybody's taking their time. It truly is a whole vibe and a half. So I hope you're enjoying it. At the time that I'm recording this, it's the 21st. If we are not in Scorpio season today, we will be tomorrow. So let's get ready for all the feels. Feels so good. But without further ado, because, you know, we got things to do today, darlings, and I have about 30 minutes with us today, this morning. I wanted to answer your questions. So you may or may not know I put on a question poll on my stories for October, and I think we're going to do this every month because I really like it. It's a way for you all to pick my brain and for me to pick your brain and to just kind of see like what you've been up to, what you want to know about me, my relationship, what's going on in my world, my business, starseed shadows, all the good things, and like my history. So I put a poll up a couple weeks ago and I got so many questions. So let me grab my phone. Let's get to it. And again, like I said, we'll be doing this again for November. So if you didn't get a chance to ask, you can later on. I'm going to move this back just a tad. Okay. I'm like high key hoping to God that the video is fine. Okay. So let's see what we have here. And while I'm pulling this up, remember, my darlings, please, 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 like, give me a 5-star review, share the podcast, The Goddess Complex, with a friend, share it with your partner, share it with your mama, share it with a loved one. This is how we get this soul work out to the people that need it most. It's through sharing and connection. And for that, I need you all to help me do that. Okay? Okay. First question. Will you redo a wedding photo shoot after your transformation success? So I hadn't really thought about it. I hadn't really thought about that at all. I'm not opposed to it. So I love photo shoots in general. I love getting my picture taken. It's just super fun to play dress up and really get into the moment. I would highly consider it, but honestly, I'm leaning more towards like a couple's boudoir shoot for like V-Day. I kind of think that would be really, really hot, but I have to get Manuel down for that, and that's a whole nother story. So TBD. How long before you noticed muscle definition? So I've always been a muscular chick, so I will say that. And you all have to remember too, I have a long history with teaching spin, which is arguably, out of all like the cardiovascular activities you could do, one of the more cardio, like high intensity cardio activities that can help you build muscle, because you're climbing up hills on a bike, you know what I mean? But new muscle, right? So like I've noticed a lot of new muscle growth in my arms and stuff like that, and the lines coming in my tummy. I'd probably say about 6 months of consistent work. And, you know, that's being good with my water, that's getting my sleep in, taking my supplements, which, by the way, all my supplements are 1UP Nutrition. Shout out 1UP Nutrition, code ASHM, will save you 20%. So 6 months of consistent work, I would say personally, but everybody is different. Everybody is different. What lifestyle changes did you initially make to get started on losing weight? Oh my God, I'm still making lifestyle changes. So I stopped going out as much, right? Because like I've mentioned before, but it's worth repeating, like alcohol does not do you any favors when it comes to weight loss. It just doesn't. I know it kind of sucks because it's like, well, I want to be able to drink like spiked apple cider with my friends. You know what I mean? I wish I could tell you different, but there is sacrifice involved when you are on a weight loss journey. It is a part of it, especially if you're looking to lose like big numbers. So I had to stop going out with my friends as much. And also change activities, right? So if we only went to the bars together, maybe we did something different, you know? I also stopped eating super late, right? The late night eating, late night snacking, midnight snacking doesn't do the body any favors either. I don't believe in the whole stop eating 2 hours before bed thing. You can, but from what I understand, there's not much proof to back up that statement. So why do that to yourself? But it really is about how often you're eating. So you should be eating, 4 to 6 times a day. Some of us might need 6, some of us might need 4, but most of us eat like twice a day, and one of them being really late at night. So that's going to be really important. Also making the time for my workouts, very important. And not letting my mind dictate whether or not I'm going to work out. Andy Frisella calls it the bitch voice, right? When you try to negotiate with your workouts. Like, let's say you're supposed to go at 11, but then you're like, oh, I could really just go at 2. Or you're like, maybe I'll go at 5. And then you're like, I'll just double up tomorrow. Getting control of that bitch voice that comes in is really going to help as well. So, lifestyle changes I implemented. I suppose too, what I was ingesting like content wise, I learned about the sport of bodybuilding through like podcasts and YouTubers and books and TikTok. I learned about weight loss in the body. As you guys know, I'm doing my personal training certificate. So obviously there was still space to ingest content that was lighter, for lack of a better word, but like Love is Blind or like something like that. But I really made a point to ingest content around the body and around health and fitness, because like attracts like, spiritual universal law. So if I'm looking to create traction around weight loss, right, and body positivity, that I must surround myself intentionally with topics, themes, people, and places that are doing the same thing. The same goes for spiritual entrepreneurship. But actually, what is your favorite book and why? Oh, God. What is my favorite book? So the first book that came to mind when you asked was Conversations with God. If you all don't know it, Conversations with God is one of the very first spiritual books I was introduced to. It's a series by Neale Donald Walsch. And it really blasted open my third eye at such a young age. I believe that book was deeply responsible for one of my very first past life regressions. Not necessarily past life regressions, spiritual awakenings is what I want to get at. Super responsible for one of my very first spiritual awakenings. And because I believe that we have multiple spiritual awakenings over time. He's a channel, Neale Donald Walsch. He's a channel, and he's channeling God. He's channeling Source, God, Universe. And there's lots of deep, deep conversation around a lot of things there. So I highly suggest it's a part of your collection, for sure. Did you manage to get married on the Pisces moon like you wanted to? LOL, I love that. We did. We also had a hurricane. Our wedding was so watery. I think it was very fitting for 2 Cancer risings. He's a Cancer rising. His ascendant is in Cancer, and so is mine. We got married. It was like on or right around. I can't remember what exactly was happening in the chart at the moment. But it was on or right around, and we did. And it was super watery and super intuitive. And like the hurricane that happened, I wouldn't have had it any other way, though. It happened exactly how it was supposed to. So, yeah. What is your biggest daily internal battle that you conquer to keep at it every day? Ooh, good question. What is my biggest daily internal battle that I conquer to keep at it every day? That somebody's listening, I think. I think my biggest internal battle is this idea that I'm on a TV show that is so matrixy and so 3D, and I do this very multi-dimensional soul work for a living, right? And I get deep, and I love shadow work, and I love to talk about super deep things and help people develop personally. And then there's this archetype, this kind of character of myself on this very 3D platform, which I'm grateful for and I'm thankful for, because it really has helped extend my reach. I believe I'm a leader of New Earth, and I believe a lot of the folks that come into my universe are also leaders of New Earth. Some of us are just leaders of New Earth in different levels. And so for me, in this lifetime, I have a South Node in Leo. I decided that I was going to be a sort of infiltrator of putting some of this soul work on a very huge platform that can sometimes be really scary, because what people don't understand, they judge and they don't trust and they feel odd about it, you know? And so I think an internal battle is like bringing these two worlds together and not exactly knowing how or why or how long it's going to take, or should we separate these worlds, and then how do we bring the fitness component into it, right? And because this is a huge part of my story as well. I wouldn't have been able to lose over 100 pounds if I wasn't spiritual. If I was not a spiritual teacher or guide, I would not have been able to lose over 100 pounds, period. It wouldn't have happened. I needed a deep level of self-awareness to get to where I am in my fitness journey. And there's truth and guidance behind that as well that needs to be incorporated within the business. So I think my biggest internal battle right now is mushing together these three worlds really in something that feels cohesive and authentic and of integrity, and also gets the point across to baby witchlings, to mystics who have been doing their spiritual work, to folks that are on a fitness journey, and to folks that just love reality TV, right? How do we create messaging that sticks out and that is cohesive? So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. What is your current diet? You look great, by the way. Thank you, friend. I appreciate that. My current diet, lots of protein. I eat a lot of protein, so in the form of cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, fresh berries, protein shakes, protein water, meats. I'm a meat eater, so love a good steak, love shrimp. We eat a lot of ceviche here at the house. Manuel makes amazing ceviche. If I am eating bread, it tends to be low carb, or like bagel thin type breads, those sorts of things. I keep it simple for dinner, a protein source and a veggie source. And if I'm allotted the carbs, you know, the carbs I tend to go to are like russet potatoes, sweet potato, or rice. That's about it. Every now and then I'll throw in some low carb pasta. I'm actually going to prep some low carb pasta for this week, actually today. So I'm going to do that with like 93% lean ground beef and Rouse, RAO, low carb sauce. Lots of tuna. Tuna cucumber is a go-to meal. Fish is also a go-to meal. I actually just saw on a TikTok that because of the mercury levels in tuna, you really shouldn't consume tuna more than twice a month, which is so sad because I love it more than twice a month. But there are fish like cod, and flounder, which I love flounder, that you can incorporate weekly in your diet. So I'll probably just incorporate more flounder and less tuna over the next couple months. But that's my diet. It's winter season, so we're going to be doing a lot of crock pot meals. I just made a chili, you know, with, again, lean meat, beans, veggies, all of that. We ate that up in a couple of days. So I'm probably going to find some more crock pot meals that work into my macros. So that's what my diet looks like for the most part. Yeah. How do you handle the negative people of social media? you block them out. So I block them out. I purposely don't put myself in situations where I know I might come across somebody's negativity. Like, I don't go on Reddit. I don't Google myself. I don't read articles about myself. I don't go on Facebook and see what's going on there. Like, I stay in my lane, right? There's also a deep level of self-awareness that you have to have. Being a reality TV star, being in the public eye is not easy all the time. There's perks to it, and there's also non-perks to it, right? It's a little bit of both. So it's like, you have to also understand too that people project. Like, if somebody is taking the time to find you on social media and like call you a nasty name or spread a lie about you or say something off color, that's a more them thing than it is a you thing. Like, who has the time to do that? I don't know about you, but I'm busy building my empire. I don't have the time to go hunt somebody down and tell them why they suck. That's between them and God if they truly do suck. And that has nothing to do with me. Those are the major ways how I just kind of stay out of it. I know what I'm here to do. And I deeply believe in the work that I'm here to do. And I also have clients in my universe that need me. I don't have the time, the energy, or the space to be like depressed in my bed because fucking Betty Sue tweeted some nasty shit about me from her mother's basement. I don't give a fuck about you, Betty Sue. You put the energy elsewhere because that energy has nothing to do with me. And we also need to understand too that we're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. I'm not for everybody. I'm for exactly who I'm for. If you're listening to this podcast, I'm for you. If you're watching it on the YouTube, I'm for you. If you like what I'm putting down, I'm for you. And if not, then that's okay too. Either way, I'm still going to keep doing my big one because it makes me happy. And when we follow the joy, that leads us one step closer to the energy of God, the God experience. And God is nothing but pure love and joy. And I always want to be in that energy. I'm saying that at 11:11, by the way. And I always want to be in that energy because that energy, what did I say before? Like attracts like. So when we sit in the energy of joy, fullness, and abundance, we create more joy, fullness, and abundance. And I just want a life full of that, full of magic, Will you have loose skin surgery? I hope so. I hope so. I would like to. Why are you so fucking amazing? Stop. Thank you. Mwah. How much weight did you lose? I am teetering around like 120 to 135. 135 pounds lost. I'm still going. I'm not done yet. Right now, my body's kind of in this teetering phase since I'm not officially in prep anymore. I'm on macros, but we're still going. Does Manuel support my competitions? I guess we'll just have to find out, won't we? Any successful spell work to get pregnant? I don't really do fertility spell work, but I know you can look up a lot of different fertility spell stuff. But that's not really my area of expertise, so I don't really want to sway you either way. What I can say is you can't just lean into sex magic. And I've said this before, I've talked about this on the show. Sex magic can be something as simple as when you and your partner are both about to orgasm, you focus your energy on that with what you want. What you want. So what do I mean by that? You want a baby as you're literally getting ready to orgasm. Imagine you giving birth or you holding your baby in your hands or what your baby's face might look like. That's the sort of energy you can use. And I found sex magic to be very successful in general. Best areas to live around Rochester. We'll be moving in a couple of months there. Oh, I love that for you. Irondequoit's one of the top areas to move to right now. Brighton is a really beautiful area as well. The South Wedge is nice if you want to be where all like the hubbub is. Yeah, Webster's cute too. It's a bit too far, but it's cute. But I mean, I would suggest Irondequoit out of all the areas. You get the best of both worlds. How did you lose all that weight? Pretty inspiring. Thank you so much. Multiple ways. So I have been on a weight loss journey for quite some time. I got VSG surgery in 2021, I believe. And then I started my Buongiorno journey in 2023. And it has all gotten me down to over 100 pounds lost. I've been in the gym my whole life pretty consistently. I've been in the gym very consistently over the last 3 years. Weightlifting totally changed the composition of my body, totally changed how I carried fat and how I carried weight. It totally changed how toned I looked. Weightlifting was a game changer for me. And cardio, moving your body. I've been a spin instructor on and off for 8 years. I've been on as a spin instructor for the last 4 years. So holding myself accountable in that cardio space has been super helpful. And then also food. Food, babes. Like, so just because I'm on Buongiorno doesn't mean I don't eat. I eat all the fucking time. I eat all the time. Okay? Food is so important, and you have to be aware of the sorts of foods that you're choosing. There's really no way around it, babes. No way around it. Food is the most important out of everything I said here. How do you celebrate Samhain? Every year it changes. This year, we will be honoring the new moon in Scorpio in my Witchy Wellness support group. I'll link it down below if you want to join us. So we'll be together for Samhain. I'm probably going to clear off my altar for Samhain and probably do some seed work, since we're also working with the new moon in Scorpio for 2025. Working, because 2025 is a hermit year. So like working with the energy of the hermit, working with some of the goals that we have for 2025, working with what's next. I may even start my vision board as well, a number of ways. So, yeah. Did you get rid of your dreadlocks? Nope, they're here. How do you get into tarot and how did you start? Well, you get your deck first of all, and you learn and you become really, really intimate with the cards, like super intimate with the cards. So it's about like understanding that no card is an island and the cards tell a story. Like that's what they're here to do. They tell a story. And so you have to allow yourself to understand that story that's being told. Get a tarot tutor. I do teach tarot. I just finished a private client. I've got one more space left for this year. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can book a consultation call in the show notes. I'll make sure to add that. Keep a tarot journal. Very important. And take a class. Did the show make you twist stories for drama? I know you and your guys sure seem in love. Well, we are in love for sure. And nobody made us do anything. I think that it's a matter of understanding your audience and understanding the world that you're playing in, right? Whether it's in reality TV, whether it's in Hollywood, whether it's in your hometown, whether it's, in certain work partnerships. You have to understand the world that you're playing in and the reason why you're playing in it. And so I knew and I know that there is a reason why my soul and my partner's soul has chosen to play in a world that is reality TV. And so we work through it, we work with it, and we keep it pushing. Yeah, so there's that. How many competitors were there for transformation in your show? 53. Are you still with Manuel? Have you met his children yet? I am still with Manuel, and via Zoom I have. Are you keeping your hair like that? It's so you. Are you talking about the wig, Shannon? I'm going to keep playing with Shannon. She's cute. I'm going to continue adding to Shannon too, like adding other wigs. I I'm a mutable sign. Sagittarius is mutable energy. So I love the energy of creation and recreation and playing in the matrix. So I enjoy being able to change things up. It's really fun. So what am I going to do next? I don't know, but definitely something fun. How did you stay on track with cravings of bad food? I'm on my journey 6 weeks in. Substitution. You substitute. You find the things that you love the most and you find substitutes for them. So for example, I love pasta. I've mentioned this before. I'm a savory girl. Love savory stuff. So if I love like pasta or like chips and dip, what sort of things can I substitute so that I can still feel like I have that pizza? I love pizza and still be okay. Cauliflower pizza. I mean, obviously it's not gonna be the same as like a nice thick crust. I'm from upstate New York. We love our thick crust pizza up here. Like, but it's still gonna help that craving. Or you can even do a tortilla pizza with keto low carb tortillas, and that works just fine too. Turkey pepperoni, you know what I mean? Light ranch instead of the full flavor ranch. You can even make your ranch with the powder. Chip and dip, you can do tuna and cucumbers. Pasta, you can do the high protein pasta with the Rouse sauce. A substitution for sure. If you like candy, Russell Stover's makes a huge line of sugar-free candy. And the macros are not that bad, even if you eat the whole bag. So there are ways around it for sure. What was the point when you started transformation? So like I've mentioned, I've always had a weight issue. I was never a thin kid, ever. I remember getting my first pair of jeans in like middle school, and they were like a size 16 and they were too tight. You know, never been a thin kid. I've never experienced being this little, never experienced not having to shop in the plus size arena until now, ever. So when people ask me when I started my transformation journey, it's never stopped. I think I started it when I realized that I was bigger than all the other girls, and that was in like middle school, right? Did I start it in the healthiest of ways? No. I think what you guys are actually asking is, when did I start it in a way that stuck? I think that's what you're asking. And I started it in a way that stuck 3 years ago. 3 years ago. But I've always struggled with my weight. I've always had the slim fast, the hydroxy cut. I remember like everybody's a Pilates girly now. Like, shout out to the people in the back that remember when Pilates was on infomercials and you could buy the DVDs. Yeah, I still have those. Okay? I still have all of them. Turbo Jam, still got them. I'm going to keep them too, because I feel like this is going to be like early 2000 millennial memorabilia like 50 years from now. So I'm going to keep it. But like, always, guys, I used to have like, I think about it, I'm thinking about it now, it was so fucking toxic. Like a wall of like Tyras and Twiggies and Carmen Electras and like, you know, bodies of people that were just unfucking realistic. This was like before Kim K made it hot to have an ass and hips, right? You know, and it just was crazy. So I've always been on this journey of not feeling safe or correct in my body, if that makes sense. And that's the best way to say it. I just never felt like my body was my own, ever. You know, I wasn't somebody who like ate double cheeseburgers in the car. I wasn't somebody who like hid food. I was actually quite active. Did I have the best eating practices? No. I think drinking put weight on for me. And I think eating twice a day and very late and eating heavy carb put weight on for me. I think my lifestyle had a huge impact on my weight gain. Versus the lifestyle that is very direct and in your face, like, bitch, why are you eating that shit? Like, you're eating like 3 Twinkies a day. Like, I don't think that's a good idea. You know what I mean? That wasn't me, but it was something else. So, yeah. What do you think of an Aquarius, Capricorn, Aquarius rising being married to an Aquarius? Okay, that's a loaded question, and I don't fully understand it. Aquarius and Capricorn are interesting. Here's what I think. I think when it comes to compatibility astrology, you need the full chart. Because on paper, shout out to all my astrologers listening, I'm a Sagittarius and my husband is a Scorpio. Traditionally, they never get along. Like, they do not work for so many reasons. You know, we're talking fixed versus mutable, introvert versus extrovert, you know, power hungry versus explorative. Like, we're talking about so many different things. But then when you put the charts together and you see so many of the similarities, I'll give you guys two right now. We both are Cancer rising, so we both present very emotionally. We both present very nurturing. We both present like, you know, the mother, the divine mother. He has an air sign moon, Gemini. I have an air sign moon, Aquarius. So our emotional bodies, the way we interpret emotions is very, very similar. But our sense of self, our egos, the sun sign, couldn't be more opposite. And I could go on and on and on. And so that's why having a birth chart is so, so fucking important in having an astrologer is so important because there's so much that we could take out of it. And so, two sun signs incompatibility, one could tell you based off that, but it's not going to be an accurate depiction. What website do I need to go on to find me a foreign man? Hell, LOL. I don't know. I didn't meet my man on a website. I met my man old school, baby. So, yo no sé, yo no sé. And guys, we got through everything. Yes, darlings, yes. Okay, my loves. So make sure you like the episode, share the episode. I hope you really enjoyed it. We'll be doing another Q&A for the month of November. And thanks for stopping by the Goddess Complex podcast. And I love you so much. And remember that you truly are limitless, but only if you believe it. Ciao, ciao for now. Hello, friends. I hope you loved today's episode. Make sure you share it with a friend, share it with somebody that you love, and tag me on the gram at Ashley Michelle 90day and let me know your thoughts. Leaving that 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify is literally what helps this work get to the right people. As you may or may not know, we are in the middle of a spiritual revolution, and us being able to get our hands on resources like this podcast and others is what is literally going to make the world go round. So do me this favor and please leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and share the episode with somebody you love. It really, truly does mean the world to me. I love you so very much, and I will see you in the next one.